says leather oils.
Quite a while. I was the oldest worker down there.
Really?
So I don't feel so bad now. They have one or two other than myself. This is, I don't know if I can do this.
Sure you can. Tell me about what your day is like. What kinds of things do you do? Just tell me, just start out when you get there in the morning. What is it like?
Well, it's whatever I'm scheduled to do. If I'm scheduled to do drive-through or front line or biscuits or whatever. There's different stations, there's several stations in the store. So, I don't know, you have to ask me about one in particular thing.
What's your favorite thing that you do?
Favorite? Front line, I think. So far.
Tell me where you work and how long you've been there and all that kind of stuff too.
Okay, I work at McDonald's in Hazard. It's Hazard 2. I worked there for about 14 months. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, now what's front line? What do you do when you're on the front line? What does that mean?
Okay, it's according to the times that you're scheduled. If you're scheduled at 5 in the morning, then you come in and you put the machines together, the shake machine, the custard machine, whatever it's called, for the cones, and I don't do that because I've never put the machines together. But when I go in on front line, usually I'm scheduled at 6 or maybe 6:30, and I'll just go in, they count my drawer, and then when customers come in, I take orders, and I fill orders, and I take the money, and we stock, and that's about it.
Do they tell you what to say to the customers when they come in?
We're supposed to greet the customer, take their order, fill their order, present their order, thank them, and ask for repeat business.
Do you ever, is that laid out in your crew book, or how do you learn that? How do you learn what to do? Or does your manager tell you? How does that?
Well, you're supposed to, they have the steps to follow because they have a station observation checklist. And it has on it what we do, and they review us every 6 months on this. Whatever we're doing, then we're reviewed on that. And if we do it good enough, then we get a raise, the highest of raises usually. But common sense tells you, greet the customer. You don't want to see somebody walk in and say, "Can I take your order?" or whatever. You want to greet them, make them feel comfortable. And go ahead.
Do they tell you what words to use when you greet the customer, or does it matter?
Just as long as you greet the customer. I guess you could say hi, howdy, or whatever you decide to say,
And then, do they ever ask you to sell a certain product? When you get a new product in or something, do they want you to
You suggestive sell. That's just good for business to get something going, And then if people like it, they buy it again. So that's good in itself, I think. Suggestive sell works, or upsell. Sell up, okay, like somebody says, I want a McDLT and a Coke, and you say, would you like a large Coke? So you're upselling. But you never suggestive sell and upsell on the same order. That's just pushing a little bit too far. But, I mean, that's good, because I owned a store once, and if you got a new item, try to sell it.
Does your manager tell you which product he wants you to sell that day, or?
No, when we suggestive sell, it's if we get a new item, like recently we had the McRib sandwich, so we were supposed to try to suggestive sell it, and usually that's it.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed about McDonald's is they have pictures on the cash register. Does yours have that, or are you tied into a computer in the cash register for inventory, or how does that work?
What do you mean, pictures on the register?
Like of the different products, or the different combinations some of them have.
Instead of numbers.
Oh, okay. You got Big Mac, yeah, whatever items we have, it's all on the register. We just push that.
You push the item rather than the price.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it easier? Or?
Especially if you just come in and you're training, then you're not going to remember the prices of every item. And even if you had a list there, then that would slow you down on taking another order, because you would have to look at your list, say, well, this costs this, and then you would have to punch the whole number in, wherein the names of the items are on the register, so you just punch that item, and it automatically, the price comes up. Well, that rather the item comes up on the register, then when you total it, the whole thing comes up, the total.
When you first began working at McDonald's, what did they train you to do? What kind of things were you taught to do?
When I trained for McDonald's, I trained in London, and I trained on biscuits and grill and salads, and that's what I trained on when I trained and started working at McDonald's. So since then, I've done biscuits for quite a few months, and then I went to frontline and drive-through and back and forth.
It seems like restaurants have really changed. Like, they used to be more, there would be the cook and there would be the waitresses, and they would pretty much go, I don't know how they decided what to cook and how to cook it, but there wasn't any real system. Is McDonald's different from that, or?
Well, when you're hired in at McDonald's, when I was first hired in, I was hired to do biscuits, and I loved it. But after a while, I got worn out on it. I got tired of just doing that. I wanted to do something else, and that's something good about McDonald's, because they move you around and let you learn other stations, and that's a real good part about McDonald's. If you just work in a restaurant and you're hired, say I'm hired as the cook, then that's all I'm going to do is just do that one job. Where in McDonald's, they move you around to different stations, and it's better for the crew, because then they stay more satisfied, because they're learning other things and it's not so tiring.
When you were doing biscuits, was there a certain way you did the biscuits every time?
We're supposed to make our biscuits a certain way.
Is that true on everything that you do? Is there a certain McDonald's system? Can you tell me a little bit about that? You don't have to go into any real detail unless you want.
Okay, you make the biscuits just like the SOC tells you to do. You make salads like that. For instance, the biscuits is you roll them out like the SOC says to do. You make the salads like McDonald's, you know. Okay, we have these pictures on the walls, and it has pictures of our salads, every ingredient that goes in it, and that's what we put in it. And then all the sandwiches are dressed according to McDonald's, how they say to dress them.
What's an SOC?
Okay, it's a station observation checklist. That's to make sure that we're learning how to do it right. You know, like, okay, like I guess whoever invented something, they said, well, this is the way it turns out the best, so this is what to do, and this is how to do it, and so that's what we do.
Who do you think invented that system?
I haven't read into the background. I really don't know.
Do you ever wonder about that?
I have, but not enough to research, and I've not wondered that much.
Are there things that you just don't understand that you do? I mean, are there things that just don't make sense why they should be that way, or does most of it have some common sense to it?
It has common sense. I mean, it's okay. The way we prepare the biscuits, it makes it simpler, easier, and it makes the biscuits turn out good. The salads, if you do the salads according to the way they're supposed to be done, they look nice. And the sandwiches, if you dress them according to the way they're supposed to be dressed, I mean, you can do a whole bunch at one time, and you know, it's easier. It's just common sense.
Does it ever get boring?
Every job gets boring, especially if you've been on one for a long time. But like I said, if you move around, you know, it's not so bad. I think it's that way with every job, not just one.
What is it that makes a job boring, though? I mean, how does that happen? I mean,
I don't know, us, every individual, we just get tired of what we do, or maybe we're aggravated about something, or you just do the same thing for so long that you just, well, you know, I'm just tired of doing this. I don't know, I guess everybody's that way.
and do you think every job is that way?
Probably. Every job that I've worked at so far.
Well, let me get into some other stuff. If you've worked there for 14 months, what made you go to McDonald's? What made you decide to work at McDonald's?
I just decided to get out of the house and find a job. That was it. And I don't know, I just went to the unemployment office one day and never expected anything, and they were interviewing for McDonald's, so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And I was hired that day. So that was why I ended up at McDonald's.
What other possibilities would there have been for you?
Well, I really don't know. I was in a typing class at the college, enrolled in a typing class, and after I started with the McDonald's, I dropped it because the job and the home was just a little bit too much to add school in. I guess I just wasn't persistent enough on it. But anyway, I don't know, I just wanted to work. I've worked off and on for years, and home life is boring. If you stay home 7 days a week, that's boring, you know. I got tired of staying home and cleaning the house. And now on my days off, some days, most of the days it don't seem, it doesn't seem so bad because I think, well, I got 2 or 3 days to do this in, so I'll get it done, and I actually enjoy it sometimes. And then if it's just like if you're off work, then you say, well, I go back to work and it's not so boring today, you just, I don't know, just the way it goes, I guess, unless I'm different from everybody.
Do you think that, how many options are there for women around here is what I'm really trying to get at.
How many options?
I mean, what other kinds of work are there for women around here? Well, men too, actually.
I really don't know. I wouldn't think there was too many at all. Fast food restaurants, maybe working in the nursing home, going to school. And then if you go to school and you get a degree for whatever, you have no guarantees of jobs. Usually, I guess a person has to leave home. So I think mostly for women around here, it's house cleaning, housewives. That's most of it around here as far as I know. I don't like that because I don't like just being a housewife. I admire the ones that do, that are satisfied with that. But I don't think most women are. So ask me another question. She's looking at me.
Hi. What if you could change something about your job? What would you change?
I don't change something about my job. I don't think there's anything I'd change. Maybe I would be manager. No, that requires that's a lot of headaches, I'd say. Nothing. Except, heck, everybody'd like to make more money. I'd say, pay me as much as I want an hour, but nothing else. I mean, we have a good system. McDonald's I like it.
What do you like about it? What makes you get up in the morning and go to work?
What makes me get up and go to work? What makes me get up and go to work is knowing that I'm obligated. I have a job and I'm obligated to do that job. Let's see. I like being with other crew people. I like being with people outside the family. I guess, just learning. Just, you learn something new every day. I like that.
Now, you were saying that you were older than sometimes people looked at you funny or something.
No, that's probably my conscience or something. When I first started, I felt a little out of place because I was older. Because, there were mostly young girls around and young boys. And I thought, well, I feel a little bit out of place. Here I am, a grandma, and I'm working here, and just kids that are my kids' age are around me. And that wore off. So I have no problem with that. So.
Now, do you work hard? Is it hard work?
Definitely. It's hard work. Unless, you never have time you're not supposed to stand around. There's always something to do. If it's sweep or mop the floor or clean the wall or stock everything, there's always something to do. And it gets a little bit easier if you get it all done. And not many customers come in. But then usually when that happens, somebody gets sent home because, you know, the labor's higher than the what they're making, you know. So it's definitely hard work. But it's a lot easier when the crew pulls together, and they're good for that down there. So that makes it easier.
If you're feeling sick or something one day, will somebody else chip in and help you out, or?
Yeah, some will do it. If you're sick, you know, you can ask to be sent home. That's they're good about that.
Now, how many hours a week are you working?
I've been working about 25 hours a week the last month or so. This week I'll probably be working right at 40.
Okay, I need to change tabs.
Hey, Buck,
Yeah,
would you bring me that other piece of black wrap and a clamp, please?
black wrap.